Hey, everybody. Welcome. It is Friday. Hope everybody's having a great Friday. Good start to your weekend. Some people had been asking for some updates in this case that I did on Tuesday for True Crime Tuesday. And I was going to do it on Monday. And some people said that's too long. And it is too long because this case is evolving, it's unfolding in front of us, and there's a lot of things that have happened in this case. They have released body cam footage of the arrest, which we're going to look at. They have released, the friend has come forward and had something to say. The mother has now spoken out. So there's a lot of people that are coming forward. The girlfriend is actually speaking out as well. She is the one that, today's whose birthday? She is the one that, today's her birthday. Yes. Today is Keimani's birthday. Yes, it is. Today is her birthday. She would have been 14, but she will forever be 13. So, yes, happy birthday to Keimani. Sorry, I didn't understand. I thought you were talking about me. I was like, no, it's not my birthday. I did it on my computer, HWNI. I did it on my computer, so I don't think it's on sub only, which I thought sub only. I used to have that. If you remember back when I first started doing lives, it was sub only. So I thought that's how it always was. But I set the live stream up for my phone yesterday, and I clicked sub only because I thought that's what I've always had it on. And apparently people thought I muted them. But I don't understand how you could think I muted you, because when you go to comment and it's sub only, it says this is a sub only live. And sub means subscribe. So it's free to subscribe. And I was like, dang, so you've been watching me this long and you haven't subscribed yet? Dang. Okay. I see. But yes, this is about Keimani. And there, like I said, there's been so much that has came forward. Basically, the friend is saying that she was friends with the bio mother, which we will hear from. And she says that all of the years that she was friends with the bio mom, that she had never known Keimani to have ever been at the bio mother's home. Daryl Jones, the alleged bio father and suspect in this case, was able to pick up Keimani from her grandmother's house and take her to the bio mom's house. The friend feels that he brought Keimani to the bio mother's home because he knew that she would never see her again. So she wanted to basically give the mother and Keimani that goodbye. So he took her by the Keimani, and that's speculation on her part, but she definitely said that. And then the mother talks about it. And I will give props to the person who interviewed the mother. She did ask some of the hard questions and some of the things that we definitely wanted to hear. So I wanted to start off by showing the girlfriend. So the girlfriend to Daryl Jones is who basically broke down the case for the law enforcement and let them know why that he was in Columbus. And she says, they explain why, how the cops knew, what she gave the info about. And she also talks about, now she doesn't, all you can see on screen is her feet, but she also talks about that he was hiding something. So let's get right into it. Trigger warning, this is about a young girl who tragically lost her life behind her own family member. If you want to get text alerts, all you have to do is text. Let's see here. Text at Connie FAF to 81010 and make sure that you put that at symbol. So, like if you were going to text your friend, you would put the phone number where you would normally put the phone number, you'll put 81010. And then in the text box where you would put like your message, like, hey, or whatever, you would put at Connie FAF, all one word, all together, no space, and then hit send. And then that'll get you in there. So yes, trigger warning. What happened to this little girl is unimaginable. Today is her birthday, and we're going to continue to talk about this case, continue to bring awareness to this because we are losing so many of our youth to senseless crimes. And the saddest part is that most of the time, you can look at statistics, most of the time, these are not strangers. These are people that were supposed to be trusted. This poor little girl, if you did not watch True Crime Tuesday, this was not something that people did not know about. Keimani's teacher, which I have talked to the teacher that made those posts about her, she had contacted CPS several times. I've actually been in contact with the teacher, and I'm hoping to get the teacher. I don't know the legalities of it yet, and I don't know if she does either. But if that is possible, I would love for the teacher to be able to come on and talk to us about this case. She's very sweet, and I was surprised that she even messaged me back, to be honest. I was shocked because I'm sure she's getting, contacted because she put these posts out there. I'm sure every YouTuber, every content creator, and I don't even consider myself really a YouTuber or a content creator, really, whatever you want to call it. Entertainment is, I've always said entertainment website or whatever, reality TV junkie, that kind of stuff. But I've never really labeled myself. But I'm sure like huge true crime channels are reaching out to her. So again, I was shocked that she even messaged me back. But if you guys didn't know, just a little short synopsis of this, her teacher had reached out to CPS, had made complaints. The school staff had made complaints. Keimani had reached out to not only the school staff, she reached out to her teacher. Keimani was reaching out to her friends. She was reaching out to her friends' parents. All of these people in her life that she reached out to were making complaints, and they were following chain of command, and they were trying to say, this little girl needs help. And at every corner, she was failed. Every corner. This is not like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. No, there were signs, there were reports made. Everything in this case, you look at what's gone on, and everybody had their the alarms going off, and everybody was saying, if you see something, say something, especially about when it involves a child. These people were saying something, and nothing was done. Yes, it's on the screen in red at the bottom. You can just text that. It tells you right there on the bottom. Thank you so much for saying that. Oh yeah, the twin brothers in Georgia is another case I've been looking at for sure. But just so you know, also if you want to check out True Crime Tuesday, the one we just did on this case, if you didn't get to catch that, it's still on the page. Definitely go check it out. He took her in the middle of the night to visit. No, Jamie, that's the thing. All right, so let's listen to what the girlfriend had to say real quick, and then we'll get into all, because there's so much to update. There's a lot that's happened.
Breaking news. And that breaking new information tonight as we come on the air in the Keimani Latique murder investigation. Toledo police executing several search warrants, including where the suspect, Darnell Jones, Keimani's father, lived on the east side. 13 Action News learning it was Jones' girlfriend who helped police with key evidence in the case. The woman who asked that we not show her face, telling Action News Jones called her last Friday and wanted her to turn off the cameras at the home. She got suspicious and didn't turn off those cameras. She says she was in the bathroom when a relative saw Jones move some things out of his SUV, brought them into the house, and hid them under the basement stairs. She called police, who got a search warrant and took the evidence.
What did he hide under your stairs?
It was like a mat for the back of your truck, not a pickup, but SUV. You know, when you lay your seats down and you put that rubber mat in there to protect the back of your seats in case you're hauling something. That's what he rolled up and put in my basement. And his work boots, which were caked with mud, and he hadn't worked in a while.
And she tells us once Jones noticed the items were gone, she never saw him again, but that he did call her from Columbus. And she told police where to find him.
Okay, so she is the one, as you can see, it says, she's the one, that's how they found out he was in Columbus. He literally called her and said, turn off the cameras at the house. And she had the heart, I'll say the heart, the courage, because listen, he could have, if he realized, he could have went in and saw that the cameras were still on, and then she could have been in danger, right? So the fact that she left those cameras on and she immediately called police, that was her boyfriend. That was her man. My man, my man, my man. You know what I'm saying? And I guarantee you there's some females out here that would have shut the hell up and turned the cameras off and whatever. I'm sure she probably knew that he had been spending time with the little girl. She was probably already suspicious. You know, women's intuition. So thank God that she did the right thing and that she did not turn the cameras off and that she called police immediately. And he had, the little mat that goes in the back of an SUV. He had hid that because I'm sure that's where he had her body at one point. And so he was hiding that under her stairs. Statistically, 75% of murders in child SA cases happen when there's a non-biological member in the household. Okay, thank you for that. Let me pin that. Yeah, there's so much. Are you talking about the twin boys or this case? There's so much to this case. Okay, so that was the first, one of the first things. The girlfriend came out. So that's how they knew he was in Columbus. That's how they got a warrant for her house or whatever. In fact, a warrant for him, I'm sorry. And they found the stuff at her house. So they already knew that was going to happen. That they were going after him and that he was in Columbus. They still did not say really why he was in Columbus. I guess I'm sure that will come out also. He probably had friends there or family there or whatever the case may be. This stupid pin shit. I have to type pin in to see my own messages to myself. Like, what? Okay, so let's see what no, let's not do the body cam yet. We're going to do the body cam in a second, but listen to this little clip. It's only like 27 seconds. This is the mother and then the friend of the mother speaking. It's a short clip. Listen to what the mother had to say and then listen to what the friend of the mother had to say.
But they stayed for 2 hours. We played the video game. We joked, we played. We had a good time. I don't know. What really makes me think is on Darnell's behalf that he just wanted her to see her mom one last time. Like, this is like the first time ever knowing her that I've actually heard her say Keimani was there. But they stayed for 2 hours. We played the video game. We joked, we played.
My bad, y'all. I was on mute for a second. Okay, so what you're hearing, the mother is talking about the last time she saw Keimani, which was a few days before she was reported missing. So clearly, Darnell Jones had access to pick up the child. He had access to drive the child around, had access to take her places, all of that from the grandmother, which the grandmother did say, I felt deceived. I felt he was grooming her, all of this. But you thought he was grooming her, but you just continued to let her go with him. So the mother is saying that they came over. She's talking about Darnell and Keimani, and that her and Keimani played video games. They had a good time. They were joking, playing around. Then it cuts to the friend of the mother, and she says, I have never seen Keimani at her house. And I feel like Darnell was giving them a chance to say goodbye without letting them say goodbye type shit. That's that's diabolical. You know, we talk about diabolical all the time. That right there is diabolical. Um, I also want you guys to hear, because this was another thing that we were talking about, like, because they had talked about that he went over there and sat with her because she felt like that somebody was breaking in the grandmother's house and all of this stuff, which clearly that may have been after their little trip. But it's just, listen to how he said it. Just the way he says things, and how, in my opinion, it's almost like he talks in circles. Obviously, we know because he's responsible,
Oh,
but
she left glasses and keys. It ain't adding up. You know what I'm saying?
Does she have a cell phone?
Yeah, and it's going straight to voicemail.
Okay. All right.
this is
And
when she was
tried to
missing.
she tried to call me at 1:29, and then she called my girl like 5 other times.
Love you, Dawn.
And the last call came in at 1:49. So she was trying to get in contact with somebody.
And so no
So
one
why
had
didn't
contact
any of
with
y'all
her,
pick
nobody
up the
saw her?
phone?
Who was the last person to really see her?
It was
was the
me.
last
I came over here because she said that if it seemed like somebody was trying to break into the house. So I sat for an hour, me and my cousin, we sat over here. And we left around like 12:30ish. And she tried to call at like 1:29, and I missed the call. So she was calling everybody else too. She has her own keys. So
Okay, so it
Does
just
she has
that was
her
why
own
she was
keys,
missing,
so
right?
she left.
That was why she was missing. Let's see. I think I showed that's the clip. Okay, yeah. Okay. Now, they have released body cam footage of when he was arrested. Well, when he was, pew-pewed too. The scene. Let me show you. All right. And then the mother did an interview, and we're going to hear that as well. And I appreciate all of you guys' support. If you guys could please hit the thumbs up, I'd greatly appreciate it. But as you see here, this is body cam footage, shows SWAT, pew-pewing Toledo man accused in the Keimani Latique case. And then you see right here, you see him, and look, he shaved his head. Now you saw him. That was another reason I wanted to show. Let me make it bigger. This was another reason. I'm glad you mentioned that, Danielle. This was another reason I wanted to show that clip of when she was missing. Okay. When she was missing, you saw him on there. He had, he obviously had hair. And this is the body cam footage. He looks to me a lot different when you talk about what he looked like. He had facial hair. He had hair on his head. You know what I'm saying? Look at him now compared to that interview that I just showed you guys with the media when she was missing. He clearly knows he's guilty. He clearly changed his whole appearance, or tried to. Hey, I am her. Look at him. He looks completely different. Thank you, silly rabbit. I will also be releasing the mother's interview as a YouTube video on my YouTube channel after this live, so that if you don't want the commentary, or you just want to go back and watch it or whatever, you'll have that all by itself as a video. Hey, ballhead niche. I haven't seen you in a hot minute. Hey, I'm glad y'all are joining. Thank you so much for being here. But let's take a look at this. So, as I said, look at his appearance. He has no facial hair. He has no hair on his head. I mean, come on now. He did that on purpose. Let's just be real about it. You can also see here where he did have what they are saying is a weapon, and there was a weapon found at the scene allegedly. Oh yeah, Tanya, I did talk about the grandmother sending herself text messages. We went over that on the True Crime Tuesday. If you missed that one, it's still on the page. But yes, you could clearly see it was one-sided thread, and it was like they were talking. She was talking to each other. Like it was bad. That was a bad attempt. Hey, Denise, been subscribed and watching you for a while now, but I'm new to the chat. I look forward to you coming on. Love watching you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Sharita. I keep hearing he's not her real dad. Well, CP, the mother talks about that in the interview that we're going to watch. Let's just take a look at this body cam footage because they just released. This is newly released. Let me make sure these are the two videos here. And see, that's him on the ground. But let's take a look at this. Footage from the officer who pew-pewed him. All right. Let me make this big. Oh, I thought I could. All right, I guess not. All right, so you see it says 3/25/2025, 10 a.m.
You may have just left this shelter area here.
I have looked into that case. I just haven't had a chance to actually show it on True Crime Tuesday. Get schooled. There's been so many cases that have been coming up, and everybody's been sending them. I need to do it more than once a week. I'm realizing I need to do true crime more than once a week. You know it, Tanya. I love the receipts. Because that's how I like it. I like to look at the stuff myself and see it. Whatever prison he goes to, we'll know before he even gets there. I know that for a fact. You know it, Dawn. They watch the news in prison. They know what's up. And if they're from that area, they already know, like friends of his.
Southbound. He's got his hood back, so he's got a bald head, it looks like.
Same. It's her birthday, Tracy. Happy birthday to Keimani. Happy birthday in heaven, little girl.
Yeah, he's worth it. Brian, when you get back over here,
we will get justice for you.
We'll stop you.
100%.
Copy that. You say he's on third? I mean, he's on Denison scan, Second.
Yeah, it's firm. South of 3rd.
I'm with you, Jenna.
Come here, man.
Don't do it.
What's your name?
Just kill me.
Dude, show me your fucking hands right now.
Me, bro.
Pull your fucking hand out of your.
Myself.
I swear to God, pull your.
Shots fired. Shots fired. Denison is second. Get medic, please.
Don't fucking move.
I'm trying not to show the
Alright, suspect's down.
pew so much.
Guys are okay.
Don't move. He's got 33 right there.
33 in his hand.
No, it's a walkie-talkie, but there's 33s right here. Don't you move or you're gonna get shot. Okay? All right. Got it. Yep. That's him. Somebody get out.
Somebody get on the main air. Get us some medics.
I'm working on it.
All right, on your belly. All right.
You got cuffs?
Whew,
I got cuffs. There you go. Thank you, brother.
that
We'll
scared
get you
me.
help,
I
okay?
forgot to write the rest of the message.
No, I know, but we can't allow that.
He was going to do himself, is what he said. He was trying to get them to do it for him.
Get us some bruisers. Secure this scene.
So he's clearly,
Copy, I'm
he did it
on
very
radio.
quickly. He's clearly in stable condition.
Get him in the car.
They did it just.
I did not. Okay. You did. Okay. You good? All right.
You could tell that they were very highly trained, and they did that just to subdue him, and just to get him to where they, could get down or whatever. They could have clearly pew-pewed in a different area, if you get what I'm saying. They could have taken him out if they wanted to, and they didn't. And I am on this side. So I want to ask you guys, okay? I want to ask you guys a question. And you don't have to answer, but my thing is, I would prefer what they did with subduing him and then him facing the court and facing everything that his consequences, right? But some people don't believe that way. So let's do it this way. A thumbs up if you agree with the officers and how they handled it, meaning that he will face his consequences, or a thumbs down, or a thumbs down if you would have preferred it go a different way, if you get what I'm saying. Because I know some people feel like they wish that they would have just deleted him from the earth right then and there, because they very well could have and been justified as far as in their position as a cop. Because he had a weapon, he had a pew pew himself, they could have done it and been justified with the court, right? So some people feel like, why didn't they just do it right then? Why didn't they just do everybody a favor and just pew pew a different way? I feel like he needs to face justice. So thumbs up if you agree with what they did, thumbs down if you wish it would have went a different way. How about that? Because I would love to hear y'all's opinions. Because I feel like I want his ass to face justice. I want him to. Are they in a state that carries the death penalty? That's a great question. I don't know. Ohio. The death. Ohio has the death penalty, though all executions are currently suspended indefinitely by Governor Mike DeWine until a replacement for lethal injection is chosen by the Ohio General Assembly. So you agree. So most of you guys agree with it. Because I saw some people on like different threads, like, around the internet or whatever. So most of you guys agree. I don't see hardly anybody that doesn't agree. Unless, some of them both. He needs to face justice. Their job is to be non-lethal, right? Their job, yeah, that's their job. It is, but what I'm saying is, I don't think anybody would have, because of him having the weapon and what he said beforehand. If they would have struck him somewhere else and it happened to be not, that he wasn't stable, I don't think they would have gotten in trouble. But they sit on death row forever. Yes, that's true with any state that has the death penalty. Phoenix says she disagrees. Okay, see, some people. So I was looking at other threads on like the news channels and stuff in Ohio, and a lot of people were like, why don't they do it? Ohio barely does death penalty here. Yeah. The likely is a P word, not just, oh, yeah, for sure, Christine. And that's what I'm saying. A lot of people on the news channels were like, take him out. He's a P word. Like, why didn't, disagreeing with it. And I was like, shit, I want him to face justice. I want him to go into that jail. And whenever these details come out and he, in my opinion, is going to be probably a P word labeled that, justice will be served. And we all know that.
You good? All right. I know. All right. Listen to me.
Hey,
Listen, I
Butterfly.
gotta roll you off. I gotta get you up on your side, okay? I gotta get you up on your
Shit's
side.
on the way. We should be there in 30.
Got you. All right. Where you hit at, bro? Yep. On your leg. He's all hit right here. I know. He's hitting his arm once. Need a medic here now. Where's our pills? Okay. We got him. He's hit once in the arm. Oh. All right. Hit the side here. Hit the side. Okay. Hey, look. You know what's good about this? Sit up, okay? You're gonna be fine.
I can't move my leg.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
509, this is Tim's. Where do you guys need us?
There you go. How's that?
Dennison and second.
Okay. We're gonna leave you sit here like this. Take a deep breath.
Copy that. We're heading that way.
Okay.
Should be
Hey,
about a
move your
minute.
car. Block that road. You're on shell cases. Get that road blocked.
Quit holding me up, please.
We can't lay you down. Okay, you gotta stay up.
Yeah, radio when you get cruisers available. We're going to need second shut down east of Dennison and west of Dennison. Dennison shut down north and south of second.
I'm not sure they're monitoring it. You want me to monitor there?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were radio.
Hey! Darnell.
I'll call anybody from now.
Anything else on you? Yeah, he said he had a job. Well, I don't.
It sounded like he was maybe going in shock or something. Or
No, just stay back, okay, please? Stay back!
They're like telling him, Darnell.
Okay, we're making good witnesses.
What did Marcy say?
You're fine, ma'am. You're fine. We got to get him. Take him. I know.
Exactly. He did, Teresa. He did.
Hey, you guys, somebody get.
Yeah, it's been notified. He's just advising 500.
I knew. What'd they say? I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Oh, of course they do, Marty.
He's been notified.
Yeah, he's
advising
in
500.
PC.
Just to confirm all our people are California, okay?
Oh, 100% he's in PC. 1,000%. But you'd be surprised those guys in jail, they'll try to get in PC just to be next to him so they could do something. You'd be shocked. Or infirmary or something, or get him on a nurse visit, or you never know. But yeah, of course he's going to go to PC because most P words go to PC, or most people that do something like this, especially to a young, innocent child. Yeah. And your own child at that. I mean, it's a child, and doing something to a child is awful, but your own child, which I think that's going to come out also. There's going to be more to that about that. And the mom does talk about that, about whether he's the bio or not. All right. So let's see what else this has.
We need a car. We need a car. Car.
Yes, sir.
So they're trying to get him medical help. He's still right there. Look at, he was like passed out. Looks like.
You talking to me, guy?
Yeah. No, I'm good.
It's your call, man. I don't know.
I'll start here.
Let me get some scene tape. I'll start it here.
And they got him on the gurney now. All right, I think this might be the other one. I think has where they have him on the ground too.
Help you. I was trying, dude. It was everything I could. I couldn't get out of the fucking car. That was a good call, Tim. That was a good call. Good call.
Great call. If they saw that, that's amazing. Let me get a soda, you guys.
Firing 4, but
Check your. Did you reload?
no, I didn't do
You're missing
anything.
something in the front. Turn. Go the other way. Turn the other way. Okay, no, I see it. Never mind. Hey, one more cone. You got here? Just grab another cone.
The cone in there?
Stay here. Leave your body. I want you to have a seat here. You're done running the scene now.
I'm good.
No, you really aren't. Come here. You have to have a seat. This is what protocol is. Have a seat.
I'm good, buddy.
Listen to me.
I don't want to sit.
You cannot be here right now.
It's all right. We got to get people here.
We've got it. I've been here 30 years. I got this.
Sorry, what was that?
Did anyone from SWAT mark up for officer support? 14, dude. Alright, thanks, Randall.
So, we need another cone. We need another cone. They're in the back of the medic? They're in the medic. That's right. That's right there. Where? Yeah, I know. You were almost standing on it.
So you all head that way and so I'm told otherwise. Alright.
They're putting it up right now. Okay. Alright. He won't have a seat. Is your camera off? No. Alright, go ahead and turn it on.
Okay, so I don't know if they said it was 2 videos, but I guess maybe it's 2 different officers or something. Because that looks like the same. He said it's 2 different. This one's 7 minutes, so maybe this is the other officer.
All right.
Oh, I guess it's just the other angle of the officer that had him. Oh, this is the guy who couldn't get out of the car.
Don't fucking move!
He was already down.
All right, suspect's down. All good guys are okay. Be careful right there.
So it's two different
Don't
body
move.
cams.
He's got 33 right there. 33
You're welcome, Marcy.
No, it's a walkie-talkie, but there's 33s right here. Don't you move
Yeah, the
or you're gonna get
girlfriend.
shot, okay?
She called the law.
All right. Got it. Yep.
Okay, yeah, so different angle, guys. Like, so you can see the walkie-talkie.
That's him.
Oh, but they said he had a pew-pew also. I wonder who had the other walkie-talkie.
Somebody get on the main air.
Oh, he did have
Get
a
us a
pew-pew.
medic.
Did you see it? Right there, he had it. Right here, you could see it with the,
Yep.
it looks like a brown. Right there. He kicked it away.
That's him.
He said, that's him.
Somebody get on the main air. Get us a medic. There you go. How's that? They broke. Okay.
At least it was broke. Oh, you can see him.
Get up.
The
Okay,
BLE.
we're gonna leave you sit here like this. Take a deep breath. Do me a favor. Take a deep breath for me, okay? Hey, move your car. Block that road. You're on shell cases. Get that road blocked.
Oh, man.
All right, we can't lay you down. Okay, you've got to stay up. I'll hold you up. All right. You just relax. Lean back in.
Is it in the...
There you go. You're gonna be fine. Listen. Hey, nothing's ever that bad. All right. Okay. Well. Darnell,
guy
right?
kicked it.
Do you have anything else on you? Do you have any more guns? Yes. Where's the guns at? Where's the other gun at? I don't.
Hey,
Darnell.
Kelly.
Hey.
Yeah, he shaved it off.
Sorry. Darnell. Do you have anything else on you? Yeah, he said he had a gun. Well, I don't. I think he's just fading. I don't know.
Hey, look at him.
Nope. Just stay back, okay, please? Stay back. Hey. Okay. Okay. We're making good witnesses. You're fine, ma'am. You're fine.
No.
We got to
no,
get him searched.
but
Medic's going to take him. I know.
that's interesting that you said that about the grandmother because there were reports, which I think there's some rumors going on also, but there were reports, Marcy, that the grandmother allegedly called the news station about where Keimani's body was. And then now people are saying that she was caught on a ring camera spreading Keimani's clothes around at a park, but I haven't seen any of that footage. Now, also in all the reports, it says the police found her body. So I don't know if it's just rumors or if there's videos. If there is, yes, it is, Christine. Yes, it is. Because he was pew-pewed. And they took him to the hospital. He is in the jail now. He was always in stable condition, though.
Hey.
After
you
this,
guys
we're going to listen to what the mom had to say.
Just go chill. Somewhere else.
Yeah, the girlfriend.
Hey, have that cruiser start getting scene tape. Let the medic in. Step back. They're fine. It's fine.
Right, honey. He looked, I mean, he was always stable. I mean, obviously getting pew-pewed isn't.
Yeah, we need a cart. We need a cart.
This is the Keimani Latique case, the tragic disappearance, and eventually they did find her in an abandoned home in Toledo. I did a True Crime Tuesday about this this past Tuesday, if you haven't watched that. But yes, this is her alleged bio father, who was also the suspect in the case, and who allegedly did these horrible things to her. We're also getting ready to listen to her biological mother talk.
I know. Stay with me, bro. Keep talking to me, okay?
He shaved his head and his facial hair. He looked different.
Dave, 5'11". If anyone is listening at home, officer support. Sit here, legs, arms.
Yes, it's P. That's what I'm talking about. The reporter. Yeah. Yes, this is bad. The alleged bio dad.
Where do you want his head? Here. Right there. Okay.
This is during his arrest.
Up. You need him out of the cuffs? Yeah, we're gonna need him out.
Oh, he still has a goatee.
Hey, listen, we're gonna roll you over one more time, all right? Gotta get those cuffs off.
He
You
shaved all
relax.
the other stuff.
Clean up. There you go. He's hitting the arm,
Okay, so
leg, arm, and I believe left chest. Okay.
Oh, dang. So he was hitting I thought he only got pew-pewed once. So he was hit in the arm, the leg, and the left chest. Dang.
I get a good search on him. I am. Everything's got to come off. You taking him all down enough in this? Yeah. All right, that's fine.
See, in that first report we watched, it sounded like they were basically saying he got pew-pewed once.
Pull this off. All right.
Cut the cuff off. Please cut your belly. You have to help us lift?
Yep.
Grab one, grab the head.
Would it be the left chest?
Down. We're down.
Yes, today. Yes, today is her
Just stare
birthday.
at him. Good. Hey, don't move your arm. I know it hurts. They're going to help you, okay?
That makes sense.
I can't even shoot you in the head.
Well, we're not trying to hurt you. We're
I
not
hope
trying
we
to
get
kill you.
better news about news.
Off my arm.
No, we're not going to take it off your arm, okay?
I
They're
wouldn't
going to
doubt
cut
it,
it
Jill.
off in just a second.
I would not doubt it.
What's your name?
Okay. So there's that one. I would not doubt it. And I think that's why I keep saying more and more stuff's going to come out about this. And the fact that the grandmother says on the news station, first off, the aunt, all she talked about was child support and people making fake GoFundMe's, which meant money to me, means that the little girl was equal to money. That just gives me that impression. And then the fact that the grandmother says that he was grooming her and she was letting him pick her up for the weekends and stuff, but yet he wasn't taking her to the bio mom's house. Like, where was he taking her? And let's not forget that we've all heard true crime stories. We've all heard testimonies about people that their parents sold them for a drink of alcohol. People, have been sold for a hit of this or a hit of that. So it's not beyond me to think that this alleged bio dad may have been not only using her for himself, but using her for other people. And I think that with the CPS being involved recently, that maybe she was pregnant, or maybe he just got wind of all these CPS reports, because let's not forget, yeah, I'm staying on Facebook, Dawn. Let's not forget that, but thank you so much for reminding me. Let's not forget that, what was I going to say? Damn, I lost my thought about the Facebook thing. Damn. Shit. I forgot now. Oh, let's not forget that Keimani was reaching out to everybody in her life. She was reporting the abuse to everyone. And I'm sure that he was like, hey, I've got to get rid of this situation. Sadly, that's how some parents and people think. And I know to most of us, we think, how could a parent ever think that about their child? But like I said, I just feel like more things are going to continue to come out. There's a lot of people that are starting to speak up slowly. And I think it will, the more pressure that they put on this investigation and the people surrounding this investigation, in my opinion, they're going to crumble and they're going to speak all of it. And I hope they do. Plus, you have to understand they're going to be pulling, everything. They're going to be pulling all of the phone records. They're going to be pulling everything. So it's all going to come out. Unless, most of it's going to come out anyway, but if they don't go to trial, like if he takes a plea deal or whatever, and this doesn't go to trial, then we probably won't see all of it. But if it goes to trial, everything will be put out. And I just feel like it's going to go in that direction of some type, even if it's not what most people think trafficking is. Like, most people feel like trafficking, like they have to be taking them to all these different cities and stuff like that. It could still be something like that and just be to his homeboys, like, as sad as that sounds, it's just awful. It's terrible. Okay. And all right, so this is the interview with the mother, the biological mother. Now, remember, Keimani was living with her grandmother, which is allegedly this woman's mother. Now, they talked about some people were saying that the grandmother wasn't really her bio grandmother and all of this. I think the confusion came in. The person that had Keimani in their custody for the most time, because the mother only had Keimani for the first like 8 or 9 months of her life. And then she went and lived with her grandmother's friend, which was her godmother or her daughter's godmother or something like that. So she lived a long time. Like, for the most part, she was with that godmother, her mom's godmother or whatever. And then she had came back to live with her grandmother, and all of this happened. And like I said, CPS had been, involved several times. The poor teacher had reported it. I mean, school staff, everybody had reported it. And I think that's also going to come out, that the CPS, like, did they follow did they follow what they should have been following? Should they be in trouble for some of this shit? So I think it's definitely a lot's going to happen.
Sorry, there's a lot going on in this house.
This is the mother of Keimani. This is her biological mother. Again, she was not living with her. You heard earlier from the friend that said, as long as she's known Keimani's mother, her bio mother, she's never known Keimani to ever be in her home, except for the weekend before she went missing. And she was brought there by the bio dad, which is on your screen. And the friend thought that he was like letting them visit before the end, basically. But this is what she had to say. And this person interviewing her did ask some of the questions that most of us wanted to hear.
Thank you. Okay, I'm sorry. There's a lot going on in this house. I'm okay. I could be a lot better. I'm trying to keep a brave face right now, because if I break, a lot of my family is going to break too, and they're trying to make sure that I keep going forward. I have not grieved yet. I haven't given myself that time, because if I stop moving, nothing's going to get done.
Victor, that's not what the reports have said, nor if you listen to the grandmother and what she said, along with other reports, it is said that she ended up having her. I mean, CPS was involved and stuff like that, but they say, that's what the family has reported.
So I just have a few questions. I don't want to hold you, because I don't really want to put too much on you than you can bear. Okay. So the main question, the $1 million question that a lot of people are confused about is, how long was Keimani with her grandmother and the godmother?
She's been bounced back and forth between my mother and my godmother since she was 1.5 years.
Did you actually lose custody? I heard said something where they lied on you and said that you, that you had did something and that's how she got custody. How did you lose custody of her?
They took her from the hospital from me. I never got to take her home.
Oh, wow.
Oh, see, I hadn't heard this part, Victor. So now she's saying this. So the grandmother says different, and other people say different. So see, that's what I'm saying. They can't even get that part of the story straight. So the mother's saying they took her from the hospital. The grandmother's saying that the mother had her for 8 or 9 months. What? That's what I'm saying. Even this is inconsistent. That's crazy, honey. But if you listen to the grandmother, that's not what she reported, honey. On True Crime Tuesday, we got a different story. So that's why I like to do the updates.
And they didn't give a reason?
So it was a bunch of false allegations that were put on me. They said everything from me being a junkie, me bouncing from place to place with strangers, me medically neglecting and I told you to stop. Sit down. Come on. Come here. Hush. They said that I medically neglected my daughter, and a bunch of other things that were not true. I brought them full documentation of everything that was going on, because I wasn't living up here. I was living in Cleveland even then. And I only came up here to allow my mother to see her grandbaby be born. I'm her first child. And I was told that I was supposed to have been aborted. So the fact that she still gave me life when she really didn't have the means to do so, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to give her that gift. But like I said, I got down here. The documentation that I brought consisted of like my lease, my W-2s, my medical records, because that was what they were saying. They were saying I medically neglected my daughter. I brought them my full medical records with, my baby's midwife and my doula's number, all of that good stuff. I brought them my lease. I brought them the title to my car. I brought them W-2s from all of my jobs to try to.
Like the fact that you're even like, and I know everybody grieves different. And she said that she hasn't even had time to grieve, but it's like some of the stuff in, I don't know, just even the grandmother, the aunt, the mother, even the dad. Obviously, he was allegedly the one who did it. But I mean, all of their, and again, everybody grieves different. There's no right or wrong way to grieve. So don't take that out of, don't run with that shit. But I'm just saying their emotions or lack thereof is alarming to me.
Like prove to them that the things that were being told about me were false. And the last time I gave it to them was during what calls a staff meeting. I gave it to them the last time in that staff meeting, and they tore it up in my face and threw it in the trash and continued on with the meeting like nothing had happened. So
also, that is not my audio. That is their audio with the ding, 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 and that's not me.
But you said she never went home with you, though, right? She never got a chance to like go home. You just gave birth to her.
The audio's messed up too.
From the hospital.
Took her from the hospital. Okay, so my next question, I don't want to hold you into, too long. I know you got a lot to do and you're busy right now. I understand. So they took her from you. Now, during this time that when they took her from you, the first person that she went with was the godmother, correct?
Yeah, the godmother. They gave my godmother kinship care over my daughter when she was 1.5 years.
Okay. And how long did she stay with the godmother?
I'm not exactly sure. I believe she stayed there solely up until she was like 5 or 6, and then they started bouncing her back and forth between the two.
Okay, so this basically lines up with what the grandmother had. The grandmother said that she was there off and on for about 5 years. Would that be fair to say?
My daughter's about to be 14 tomorrow. No. No, that's still that's still not accounting for like 3 to 4 years.
Okay, so that timeline is just a little bit.
The way she said my daughter's going to be 14 tomorrow, that does show me that maybe she hasn't even accepted it. I don't know. It's just very odd. Like, I just wonder if with him taking her to the mom's, did she have any idea? Why did she not think that was odd if that's not something that happens all the time? I don't know.
Conflicted. Okay. So during this time of her being there, how many years did you fight for your daughter after she was born?
Oh, hey, I'm on the phone. No, do not open that door. No. You want to go out there? You can go out there and play if you want to. But I can't have you playing in here. But no, I've always fought for my daughter. I've fought for my daughter since the day that I had her.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, not my audio.
Press the button. I'm sorry. So say that again because I pressed my mixer. My apologies. Say that one more time for me.
I said I've always been fighting for my daughter. That fight has never ended. In June, my mother was supposed to be signing a third-party custody transfer so that I could get my baby back because she said that she did not want her anymore. She said my daughter was stealing. My daughter was lying. I don't know that any of that is factual, and I don't believe it. But she said that my daughter was doing a whole bunch of stuff. And
so she said that her mother was supposed to sign, which would be Keimani's grandmother, was supposed to sign a third-party custody agreement for them because the grandmother. Now, this part was somebody else sent me just a clip of this part, and she says that the grandmother told her that she didn't want Keimani anymore because Keimani was lying and stealing, and she just couldn't take it anymore. And I do apologize, again, the sound and the dings and all that shit, it is not my audio, and when the mom cuts out, I think she was holding the phone, and the way she's holding the phone, she covers the speaker sometimes. So again, apologies. I did the best I could with the audio.
She said my daughter was stealing. My daughter was lying. I don't know that any of that is factual, and I don't believe it. But she said that my daughter was doing a whole bunch of stuff, and she just couldn't take it anymore. She wanted me to get my daughter. We were supposed to be going to court for that, to give me custody of my daughter back, because every place that I've always had space for my daughter. I've always made sure I had means to take care of.
Right. So this abuse, what do you know about this abuse? Because one thing that I'm noticing is that there's a fair consensus from multiple family members that she was getting hit on by the grandmother. Did you know about anything about this, and how long did you know, and what steps did you take outside of, fighting for custody?
Did a very good job of as far away from my daughter as they could. I think that was so that they would be able to do what it was that they wanted to do, how they wanted to do it. Again, I still have my parental rights, but because they are guardian, because they are custodian, if they don't give me the go ahead, I can't do anything.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, did you hear about the abuse? Like, how did you know anything about the abuse that the grandmother was doing?
I didn't hear about the abuse until the only thing that I've seen, because I've never even seen my mother hit my daughter, other than like a spoon, like a wooden spoon to her hand. I haven't witnessed any of that, and I think that was for a reason.
Okay, and she is your biological mother, because that was in question as well, correct?
That is my biological mother, unfortunately.
There you go.
How they ended up, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. Y'all are so loud. I cannot even think straight. Can y'all please? That's why I said go out there and play with them, so that they can scream and yell and holler as much as they want. Baby, my head, it's a lot of stuff going on in my head. I cannot focus. Can y'all please step out? Please. I'm not trying to be mean to y'all, but I need y'all out. Please. Go. I'm sorry.
Listen, you're okay. I'm a mother. I don't care about none of that. You do you. It's okay. Go ahead.
I know, Misty, every time.
Well, is there any other questions?
Yeah.
No, I was saying as far as No, I was saying as far as the abuse and things of that nature. You said that you didn't know anything about it. You just knew about the spoon and stuff like that. That's what you was explaining.
Yeah. About anything. The only thing I've ever seen my mother do to my daughter was hit her with the spoon. But I've recently met a bunch of my family that I didn't know existed, and they didn't know I existed. Apparently, they've been trying to figure out where this light-skinned baby came from.
Wow.
But just meeting them, they have stories on top of stories on top of stories. People that have lived with my mother for months or years on end are telling me what they've witnessed. So
can you explain your sister? Apparently, your sister went on the news and she said that you never around, and you only came around because you were fussing about the child support and $900. Can you explain why she would go on the news and portray it that way, or why she would say that you were never around?
Also, if you missed the interview that she's talking about, that was all on the first episode that we covered this on True Crime Tuesday this past Tuesday, just a couple days ago. And what she's saying is true. The aunt literally talked about the mother and child support, and it was basically a lot about money, in my opinion. But the grandmother and the aunt both did an interview. Now the girlfriend's done one, the mom's done one. Like, they're doing all of these interviews, and like someone in the chat said, the more they speak, the worse it sounds. And all of the cousins, when she was getting arrested, we saw that video where they were yelling and saying things like, you've been doing this for a while. Like you needed to be in jail. I mean, they even went as far to call her a Chester, if you get what I'm saying. Um, so it sounds like the family has known that this has been going on. So again, as family, all the teachers and all the friends of hers and all the friends' parents have reached out to CPS. They've all been trying to help her. But as family, maybe it would have been had hold more weight if the, held more weight had they went forward. Like it sounds like everybody around this girl knew what was going on and nobody stepped forward. And then the mother even says, I wanted to give her the gift of life. But then when they said, is that your bio mother? She says, yes, unfortunately. And then she goes on to say, everybody that's been around my mom or lived with her for a couple months, they all, are saying that she was this or she was that. But yet you let your daughter live there and you gave the gift of life to that. Make it make sense. And I'm in a serious way.
I don't deal with my sister first off.
Mm-hmm.
I don't talk to her if if she don't talk to me. I raised all my little sisters and brothers. I was the protector. I was the provider for them when we were in foster care, and I put myself in harm's way to make sure that they didn't have to go through the things that I went through. I don't talk to our family is not tight knit, so I don't really speak to her that often. But that is not the same energy that she had when she called me and told me that my baby was missing, because she's the one that let me know.
Okay.
I had no idea. I don't do social media.
Understandable. Now, there's another misconception or some that's getting people a little bit confused as well, is that people were going around, and I'm just here because I've been watching it from the very beginning. So don't think I'm just someone that just hopped of it and don't know anything. People are saying that is Keimani, is this her biological father?
Yes.
Okay, and would you know why people are saying it's someone else? They were saying that the grandmother said it's not, or something like that.
So they said that my mom said that. Where she got that from, I'm not sure. But shit. People are also saying that my mom and my daughter's dad have been sleeping together this whole time too. So I don't know.
And you just learned that they were dealing with each other on a personal note. That's crazy, and I'm so sorry.
If it like, the only time I really talk to my mother or my child's father is if it's concerning my child. If you tell me my kid needs something, I got it. If you tell me my kid wants to do something, I got it. If my kid is short on something, or shit, if the house is short on something where my baby is residing, I'm going to make sure I take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
There has been times my mother has called me legitimately 3 days in a row. The last time she did this, I was homeless.
Mute yourself, Nutbuster. Mute yourself.
She called me the first day.
Okay.
I believe that as well. I believe that was probably another way for him to butter her up, to say, that's my baby girl, that's my daughter, and get more time with her, get her out of the house, and get to do whatever he wanted. And clearly, if he was around the grandmother, he knew, just like everybody else knew, that the poor girl was being abused, in my opinion. And so I would believe that 100%.
Go ahead.
There was the last time she called me and was asking for money back to back was when I was homeless. I was literally living in my car, had nowhere to go. And she called me one day and was like, hey, I need like $600. We ain't got no food in this house. I said, okay. She called me the next day. Hey, I need $300. I'm trying to do something for Keimani's birthday. Okay. She called me the day after. Hey, can you send me 60? I'm $60 short for her cake. No, I can't, because now I'm flat broke.
Wow. So it was just always.
If you call me and tell me my kid needs something, call me and tell me my. It's always been about money.
Wow.
But regardless of that, like I said, my only concern has been, I don't care about the money. Money comes and goes.
Yeah. So they were saying, so this house that your mother lived in, I've heard that your mother was on drugs. I've heard that it was pedophiles and pimps and crackheads living in there. Was she treating this house like a boarding house for the community? What do you know about that, of the people that were coming in and out this household?
I didn't know about the
Now she's laughing.
crackheads and all of that mess.
Now, maybe the other stuff, and again, everybody grieves different. The other stuff, maybe, she's being snarky and, the chuckle was about, she had showed everything. But when she asked her, like, hey, this house is allegedly like there's all these things going on with your daughter there, she's like, well, I didn't know about that. Like, what?
The crackheads and all of that mess until after I got here.
I don't know.
I only found out about Wayne, my little brother's dad, staying at my mother's house when he got out, because my dad called me and told me. And I asked her why he was there, and I told her that I was uncomfortable with him being there because he just did 22, 23 years and ain't seen a woman. I don't want him nowhere near my kid.
Wow.
And he's a registered sex offender, correct?
That was staying at that house, from what I knew, was family.
No, I'm saying, but Wayne, he was a registered sex offender. That's what he was in the penitentiary for, right?
Uh-huh. Clock it.
No, Wayne was in the penitentiary because he killed somebody over 50 cents in a slice of pizza.
Oh, wow.
So, mental health, top tier,
Wow. Okay, so now that...
See, I had heard that as well, that he was, that there was an RSO living there. So mother alleges that no, that's not why he was in the penitentiary for 20 some years, that it was because of that. But again, that's why I say with the trial, things will come out, because at this point, in my opinion, they've all discredited themselves. They've all changed stories. They've all said different things. They don't even have the same timeline or story about Keimani and who she lived with and when and all of that. So they're not even on the same page when it comes to that. So that's why I say, with all this stuff coming out, I hope it goes to trial so we will see the real truth, because I don't believe anything anybody's saying in the family. I think they all probably knew something was going on at some point. And I think they all were definitely aware of the abuse, period. Especially the way she talks about her mother.
All of this is out and things of that nature, right? I know that the day before she went missing, she was at your house because you had the birthday party for your other daughter. And you said that you gave her some money, and then you also gave the father some money. Now, here's what kind of had me confused, is because they were saying that you really didn't get a chance to see your baby for a lot of years. Is that correct?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's incorrect. My daughter was at my house on the 15th, Saturday the 15th. Her and her sister had already spent the week up here together, because I have a 4-year-old. She was up here with Keimani for a whole week before that. My daughter's dad got permission from my mother to bring Keimani to me on Saturday the 15th. That had nothing to do with no birthdays. I don't know where people keep getting that from, but that's not what I said. She came up to see me because, again, I'm paying child support. I still have my parental rights. So that was my visit. But she sat with me hours. You know what I'm saying? Because I guess my mother wanted her home before the night was over for whatever reason. But they stayed for 2 hours. We played the video game. We joked, we played. We had a good time.
Okay.
We had a good time.
Okay, Spicy, I did say that. I'm sorry to interrupt. I did say that because I knew Zaza's birthday was on the 17th. And I was just like asking you because you were getting stuff together for her birthday on the weekend. So yeah, I did say that.
Okay, it was the weekend. Okay. And so he came and took her there and then took her back home. Now, do you guys even, let me ask you this, maybe you would know. Do you guys even know if she even ever made it back home?
I don't know. From what I was told, she was home because she went to school on Monday. The kids at her school vouched, yes, she was here, and she walked with us to school. We had lunch, and she walked with us after school. She went home.
Okay. Wow. Alrighty.
There's kids that she walks to school with.
Mhm.
If she doesn't get on the bus, a group of kids that she walks home with if she doesn't get on the bus.
Okay. Now, can you give
But
us
she
some clarity
wasn't.
on this timeline? When was she officially reported missing? I think that's also some inconsistencies in that for people too.
I don't know when she was officially reported missing. Um, so from what I understand, from what was told to me, she went missing Tuesday. My mother claims that she noticed that she figured out that my daughter was missing when she got home, which was supposed to have been 10 o'clock. But apparently she still had not reported it at that time. She called my cousin Kat, which is Big Cat on Facebook. I'm sure you guys have seen her today.
So Big Cat that she's talking about is the one that I was showing you guys all of her posts on Facebook. And again, all of that stuff is on the Tuesday episode that we did. And that Cat, the one she's talking about, the cousin Cat, she was the one that was at the arrest, as many of them were that we watched. Kat also is the one who put out the text messages of the grandmother where she's legit talking to herself allegedly about a ransom, and it's all one-sided. Like, you know how when you see a conversation, there'll be like gray and blue chats? Everything's gray because she was literally talking to herself. Yes, this is the young girl's biological mother, Nancy, but not so she was living with her biological grandmother. This is the biological mother, the grandmother's daughter. But yes, Big Cat is the one I showed you guys. All of her posts and text, and she was dropping it. She's been dropping all kinds of stuff.
I don't know that any part of that is true.
Yes, Paula. Yes, they found her Monday.
But I did not find out until almost 4 o'clock Tuesday afternoon. Like I said, my sister, the same one that's on the news talking crazy now, is the one that even let me know that my daughter was missing. My mother did not call me about anything even remotely related to my kid until Thursday. The Thursday after she went missing at 3:49 p.m.
Wow. So this is
yes. So the grandmother said that she was that she got home around 9:40 that morning or whatever, and she saw all of that stuff laying out that it shouldn't have been. She said she saw her pajamas laying there, her underwear, her glasses, her keys, everything. You know, she would have taken her glasses or her keys and stuff to school with her. So instead of calling police right away, when you see that, the grandmother allegedly called the school and was like, "Is Keimani in school?" So yeah, she allegedly called the school first.
This is kind of thank you guys for the gifts. I appreciate it.
And the school of course said she never showed up. She didn't come to school.
So now that we are in, your sister had went into the news, and she also had mentioned so when your sister when she was on
Nina,
the
I
news
don't
and
know.
she
That's
basically is saying that you never around,
that's
there's
what
also some
grandmother.
allegations that your sister was
So that's what I'm saying. The all of the different stories that they're saying. The grandmother saying she called the school. They had the gym teacher located. They had all these teachers, and the teachers all told her she hadn't showed up to school that day. The dad is saying that that night when she was alone at home, that she had called the dad and said that somebody was allegedly trying to break in the grandma's home. So he went over there and sat with her for a short period of time. But when he left her, she was alive, and then she was calling everybody else. And there's so many different stories about all of the family members, and I think this is going to come back to haunt them. All of these interviews that they've done, and all of the things that they've said, and all of the contradictions in their stories. I think this will come back to bite them.
was one that was a part of the things that was going on in the house. Have you heard anything about your sister leaving your daughter out while they leave the house for hours throughout the day and she had nowhere to go? Have you heard those allegations yet?
Don't know nothing about that. I know that I have been told that apparently my sister's son, my nephew RJ, was apparently touching my baby as well. And my cousins told me that as well. No, my mother has not talked to me about this. My sister has not brought this to my attention. The people that are responsible for taking care of her are the people that should be telling me what's going on. When something's wrong, regardless of how big or how little it is, you should be letting me know. That is still my child. I still care for her. I still love her. I still go above and beyond for her.
And how old was this son
But it's
of
the
hers?
fact the dark for a reason.
How old is her son?
I spoke to them every time I spoke to my child, every time I spoke to my child, every time I spoke to my mother, every time I spoke to my child's father. Everything seemed normal. And I ask questions. I want to know what's going on. And I think my daughter just didn't say anything out of fear.
Yeah, possibly very scared. And who could she really go to now? I want to also get an understanding of the father as well. There's old videos popping up of him, and I'm trying to get an understanding of his character, because I remember your other video when you first did the interview with Nutbuster, and you said, that he wouldn't do anything like this. What do you think happened?
Exactly.
I've known this
Exactly,
man since
Vicky.
I was 19 years old. I am a girl's girl and always have been a girl's girl even before that was coined. If somebody would have came to me and told me that this was something that he was into, or this was something that he could have had the potential to do, or they thought he did it or whatever, I'm going to stand by them. If any woman would have approached me and been like, hey, he's fucking weird, I would have taken heed to that. I have never heard of him doing anything of the sort. Even some of my cousins went to school with him. They said he was a square, has always been a square. So none of this was, I wasn't expecting him to have anything to do with this, but I can't say I put anything past anybody. As of right now, everybody's fucking guilty and I don't care. So, and you can listen, and I see y'all in the comments, y'all can talk about all y'all want, but at the end of the day, I'm doing what I have to do to make sure that my baby gets a proper burial. I'm trying to do what I have to do to make sure that my kid is.
You don't have to reply to them, okay?
I'm not about to put on no show for y'all. I will grieve when I have time to grieve. Right now, there's other things I need to take care of. I have a young child with me. My child.
Yes, I've heard about all of the funeral stuff and all of that stuff too, because if you remember when we watched the aunt's interview, that was the whole thing with the aunt. She was saying, I don't know why people are doing fake GoFundMe's. I don't know why everybody's trying to raise money for the funeral. I don't know what's going on because a third party is paying for the funeral. We don't need any help. And now there's stuff coming out about the funeral home, that the guy at the funeral home's an alleged P word. And there's problems with there's problems with the funeral home accepting donations, and they want $12,000. Come to find out, like there's so much going on. It's crazy. But yes, I'm definitely aware of all that funeral home stuff.
Attack her. Do not attack her. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Not Nutbuster. Give me 1 second. I don't know who all y'all is that's in the comments, but this is Savage Royalties Live. Okay. This is not like any other body's live on here, okay? This woman, regardless of how y'all feel, lost a child. Do not disrespect her in my comments. You can take that to somebody else's live. You can't tell her how to feel. You can't tell her, do not do that over here. Do not, please, out of respect for me. You can have your own feelings, but respect my live. I don't have
when I was on the phone with you that day, didn't I already say he was a weirdo? Like, even did that messy shit with calling her while we were talking. I already said he was a weirdo, so I don't know why the person in the comments was like, oh, you said he was. I did say he was weird. I did say that. I've been saying that. And it's just more so to say that people don't care what type of. I can't hear you. Can't hear you.
He called my mother, like he had to check in with her.
Hey,
Yes, I
Rhonda.
called him a weirdo. So yes, I did. Everything that I have said up here, I have said to her, and it's just like more so. I feel like this is not the.
All right. So there you go. That was the friend and I will put that out. I will put that as a video that you guys can watch if you want to go back and watch that. But yeah, it's like so now the mom's coming out, the bio mom's coming out, the grandmas come out, the aunts come out, the bio mom's friends come out, the girlfriends come out, the dad talked before he got arrested. Like that's 6 people right there, and they're all talking to media, they're all talking to bloggers, they're all talking to people. And obviously, I think that I'm hoping to see multiple people get charged because I feel like multiple people knew what was going on. That's what I don't that's what I don't like. People want to see you grieve for what? I don't have to prove shit to you. And just me, that's why I said a lot of people grieve differently. And, people can grieve in the privacy of their home. And when they're on social media, maybe they just don't. I mean, there's a lot of things. That's why I always preface saying it like that. It's just for me, the laughing and the stuff like that. I'm like, I don't know. But also when she said that about my baby girl's birthday, she'll be 14 tomorrow because this was last night. She said my baby girl will be 14 tomorrow. So again, that says to me that maybe she hasn't even accepted it herself. You know. The Tuesday episode, Jennifer, is on this page. If you scroll back through the live videos, it'll say True Crime Tuesday. Well, let me see what it says, what it's titled real quick. But I do a live every Tuesday for true crime, but let me see exactly what it's posted as. Nope, it's not 9 days ago. It says True Crime Tuesday with your host, Feminine and Fierce, and you'll see it has Keimani's picture on the front. Let me copy the link. I'll drop the link in the chat right now. Let me drop it real quick. And also, I'll show you what they were talking about with the funeral home. If you give me 1 second, because I have that link also. All right, here is the true crime. I'll put it in the description of this live also for people, and I'll put it in the description of the video that I put on. The video we just watched, I'm going to make it's a video on my YouTube. All right, so I'll pin it. That is the episode I did on this case. And it shows you from the beginning how everything started and it has the interviews with the grandma and the aunt. It has all of that stuff. But let me pull this up real quick and I'll show you what is going on, what they're talking about with the funeral home stuff real quick. Oh man, it popped it out for me. Let me find it again. I had it on my phone and it just went away when I refreshed, I guess. Thank you guys so much for here it is. Thank you guys so much for hitting that thumbs up and being here and supporting me and supporting this story and getting this story out there and the details because like I said, what happened to this little girl is a tragedy. It's awful. And like I said, it's at the hands of her own family, her own father, her own grandmother, in my opinion, her own mother, aunt, everybody. The saddest part is that everybody that she told that she went to, her friends, parents, her teacher, her school staff, everybody tried. Everybody went to CPS. Everybody went to the house, and you could hear the grandmother. That link I just pinned in grandmother's interview. She talks about how CPS was involved and how she just had to learn. You can only hit them on their bottom. She talks a lot about chastising, and she talks about how you can chastise this way, or you can chastise just all kinds of stuff. It's like clearly there. The way she was talking about it. Yeah, Jennifer, it's terrible. All right, so somebody sent me this clip or this video here about the funeral. Listen to what, because they break it down and I'm pretty sure I haven't seen it all, obviously, but allegedly they break it down and talk about what's going on with the funeral home. Because again, in that interview with the aunt, she says, let's get it together.
Before, if you'd like to bring cash or check.
Okay,
the person that sent this message said, "Okay," and brown leg
Okay. So what the deal is when the aunt was on the news media and she was talking
Good
about
afternoon.
the aunt was on the news media and she was saying that people are doing fake GoFundMe's, that they are raising money for funeral expenses and that they don't need help with that, that the funeral was taken care of and all of this. Well, now there's drama with the funeral home. I mean, can it get worse? But let's see.
I'm Andrew Z. So here's where we're at, and I'm going to try to make this. There's a lot going on.
There
I'm
is
going
a
to try to
lot with this
not
case.
ramble and make this as clear and concise as possible. We're on our way
Which part, May?
to opening day for today, and then this popped up, and the 13-year-old, happy birthday today. She would have been 14 today. Happy heavenly birthday to Keimani, of course, for today, and but here's where we're at when it comes to the funeral. So there's a funeral home and Brown Legacy Memorial. Brown Legacy Memorial. And we're still piecing some of the story together, but here's where we're at. Brown Legacy Memorial, when this first happened, stepped up and said that they were going to do the funeral. And what a lot of people are saying to me and a lot of the community thought was going to happen was,
Oh shit, I forgot I have to be over there on Facebook for it to continue to go. Okay.
stepped up and said that they were going to do the funeral. And what a lot of people are saying to me and a lot of the community thought was going to happen was that he was donating the services.
Shout out to Becky for that super chat. She said, "Thank you, Connie, for the update. We love you, girl. Hope your mom's doing better." Thank you so much. She's still in the hospital, but she's doing as well as can be expected. Thank you so much for asking, and shout out to you for that super chat.
Which is a very kind gesture by Mr. Brown. So he's donating the services, and now we're hearing that the services aren't totally paid for, and people are making GoFundMe's or whatever to collect money to pay for the funeral. So our team wanted to get some answers, get to the bottom of some of this. So we're going to talk about the financial part first, and there's two parts of the story. But we have a message reportedly from Brown Legacy Memorial from someone. This came in yesterday at 4:19 p.m. to the Brown Legacy Memorial, and it said, "Do you guys have the body of Keimani? How much is left for her services, and where are you located exactly?" The response from the account of Brown Legacy Memorial was, "Yes, we do, and we're approximately at $5,500 and need to raise a total of $12,000. We are located at 1757 Tremainsville Road. We lease the space out of Castillo Funeral Home. I'll be there today from 2 until 4 if you'd like to bring cash or check." The person that sent this message said, "Okay, thanks." This message has since been forwarded to me. So I had questions. If you're donating, then why are you trying to raise $12,000? And $12,000 also seems quite high for money to be raised for a funeral. So I personally got on the phone with John Castillo, the owner of Castillo Funeral Home. He did confirm that the Browns have leased the space. So I'm going to tell you, I've learned a lot about funerals today that I didn't know before. I wish I didn't have to know now. But so Brown Legacy Memorial is a licensed funeral director in the state of Ohio, but he doesn't have his own funeral place. So he leases out from other funeral homes. So he said that he was going to take care of the funeral, and he worked with Castillo Funeral Home to have the body taken over there, and John Castillo would take care of it. Now, John Castillo is, please hear this. Before I go anywhere else, please hear this. John Castillo is an honest local business owner and basically works by himself. He's got him and like one other person getting it ready for the memorial service for next Thursday, at the behest and direction of Brown Legacy Memorial. Now, I spoke to John Castillo and I said, "John," I said, "so explain to me in a normal situation how the funeral situation works." He says, "Well, a third party funeral situation would work." work. So,
This
you
is
would lease out,
crazy, right?
the space.
It's
I would do the
terrible.
work. I would, prepare the body, do the embalming, have the funeral, whatever. And then the third, taking the body in, getting the body prepared, and then you have the embalming services. And I said, how much does that cost normally? And he says, well, in this case, again, this is from the funeral home director or funeral home owner at Castillo Funeral Home. He says, in this case, they donated his time. He's donated everything for this funeral. Everything that has to do with the body has been donated. Please hear that. He also said,
what the heck did I do? Hold on, I clicked the wrong button. Hold on.
the embalmer has donated his time because of the nature of the situation.
Wow.
They took care of both those items for Keimani. Those have been taken care of. So I said, John, if I say that there is a message from Brown Legacy Memorial saying that we're collecting $12,000 and we've collected $5,500, and that we need, what does that be, $6,500 more? What would that money be for? And I said, what are you not covering that in normal funerals would need to be covered? He said, really, the only thing left would be the casket. And I asked John, again, a man that owns a funeral home that's been in the business for a long time. And I said, John, what is an average price of a casket? $2,000.
Wow.
So, I mean, obviously there's high, it's like with a car, you got high end, you got low end, but right around 2,000, 3,000, maybe 4,000, maybe 5, whatever. It doesn't matter.
It's not 12.
2, 3, 4,000. I said, okay, so I said, how did you acquire the casket? And Brown Legacy Memorial got the casket, brought it to John. And so that's where we're at. So Brown Legacy Memorial, we do know, has provided the casket for Castillo Funeral Home. That we know. That is an absolute fact. But why are you collecting $12,000? What is costing all this money? Now, I will tell you that
that's crazy.
The Castillo is just finding out about this today. We're going live with this. We're the first ones to go live with this. We've done exclusive reporting on this. And John Castillo said he has nothing to do with this. He donated, he did
That's
everything
sad.
he could on his end to make sure that the funeral is taken care of.
That's terrible.
Past that, this is all under the auspices of Brown Legacy Memorial. We have since been monitoring the Brown Legacy Memorial page. They say they're up to $6,000. They still need $6,000 more. Now, $12,000 needed. John Castillo, with the things that he knows in the business and with what he's already provided for free, he cannot understand what this $12,000 would be for. Now, the Legacy Memorial, I mean, okay, you're doing it at a church, and I think that he might be, again, this is speculation on my part, but I think he might be a member or a part of the church where they plan to have the services. So I don't know what the cost would be there or why that wouldn't be done. What I'm trying to say is, let's say you need to have the casket covered. What is the $12,000 for? I'm sure that we can find a church or somewhere to have these facilities that would donate the services. What are we collecting $12,000 for? And what I'm saying is, to get this message out, stop giving money. We need to figure out where this money is going, what the $6,000 is accounted for, why this man is asking for money, and what is going on. We have reached out to the Brown Memorial Legacy at the number that was posted, and it went straight, rang 8 times. Let me check to make sure with my team.
Wow.
It went straight to voicemail. I left him a message. So there you go. We reached out to
So you heard, basically Brown Memorial, let me see what it's called. Brown Legacy Memorial. They are basically raising this money. They say that they need 12,000. They do say that they have raised 6,000 already. They don't have their own, all of that stuff. So the Castillo, however he said it, Castillo or whatever funeral home is the ones that are doing the embalming and everything like that. Everything that has to do with the body and getting it ready and all of that. So they have donated their time. They've donated all of that. So they can't even figure out why they need all this money. Um, and they don't want it to look bad on them. Like, we are donating. We're not saying we need money. Now, if you look up on Facebook, this funeral home, they, make it known that they have raised $6,000. Um, if you look right here, it says, absolutely not. We will not allow our fallen angel to be in the hands of another P word, because they're basically saying the person that is responsible for this funeral service and cemetery, because they have a cemetery also. They're basically saying that this person is a RSO. So this is what they posted 6 hours ago. They posted, for immediate release, the Latique family expresses gratitude for community support following the tragic loss of Keimani Latique. The Latique family, with the support of Brown Legacy Memorial, extends heartfelt gratitude to the community for the overwhelming outpouring of love, prayers, and support following the tragic loss of their beloved princess, Keimani Latique. During this an unimaginable time of grief, your kindness and compassion has been a source of comfort and strength for the family. Today, March 28th, marks what would have been Keimani's 14th birthday. Though her physical presence is deeply missed, her spirit lives on through the love and light she shared with everyone who knew her. Thanks for the generosity of so many. The family is grateful to share that over $6,000 has been raised to date, bringing them more than halfway toward their goal. These contributions are being applied directly to cover Keimani's funeral expenses, ensuring that she receives a beautiful and dignified tribute. Any remaining funds will be donated to organizations that reflect Keimani's love for life and her compassion for others, honoring her legacy in a meaningful way. Plans for the memorial service. The family, in partnership with Brown, they continue to mention in partnership with Brown Legacy Memorial, is currently finalizing details for both a private service, which is invite only, and a public service where the broader community will have the opportunity to pay their respects and celebrate Keimani's life. Additional information regarding these services will be shared soon. The Latique family and Brown Legacy Memorial will continue to provide daily updates to keep the community informed. Now, if you go to these comments, like this one person shared, she said, absolutely not. We will not allow our fallen angel to be in the hands of another P word. Do not touch her lifeless body. I cannot believe this family is failing her once again after her death. Toledo, we need to come together. This cannot happen. Let me read you this. This was December 31st, 2019. Bishop Dwayne Tisdale. It says, Dear Bishop Tisdale, the letter serves as our recommendation to close the Rock Church Toledo. So I don't know, is necessary to promote healing. Richard Brown has abused his power and position as pastor by M-word young men and facilitating other relationships with men. We believe that men participating in these kinds of things should not be our pastor. He has lied, manipulated, and misled the sheep under his pastoral care, then avoided responsibility for his actions. We believe that he was allowed to pastor us, knowing that he struggled with these homosexual tendencies and abuse of young men. We believe that this truth was covered up and he was able to freely victimize more young men. We will not allow this to happen to anyone else. We recommend that Richard Brown III no longer be allowed to pastor anyone without complete repentance and deliverance from the things he wrestles with. So this is it's guilty of abuse of religious position, and we will not hide the truth from anyone. Because our affiliation with Richard Brown, the church and its members, we have been harassed. We have been dragged through the mud and called complicit in his actions. So it's this huge letter, and it's talking about this Brown, Richard Brown. And it's saying that he was a pastor at a church that had to be closed down, and that he is the P word, and that he did this to these boys. And now it looks like he has clutched on to this case and is now trying to raise $12,000 for this funeral, when, again, like we heard, Yeah, Tanya, the pastor, Brown, that's who runs Brown Legacy Memorial, and is who is raising money in partnership with the family for Keimani's burial. So, yes, I hope so, honey. I hope they hold. I hope they hold. I hope everybody holds, and I hope this gets out everywhere and people stop sending the money because, and not because of Keimani, it's because of clearly this. I hope the other funeral home that did the embalming and all of that, I hope that with this information, because they just got this information. So I'm praying and hoping that the legit funeral home um, that did the embalming and took care of her body and things like that. I'm hoping that they step in and because they are who has her at this point, allegedly. Because if you heard him, he said that the Brown Legacy Memorial brought the casket to them, and they're the ones who are going to get her ready and things like that. So I'm hoping maybe the family, which the family's failed her in so many ways. I don't know why I would even hope that the family would, but I'm hoping someone steps in and says, this is not okay. This is not good. I hope Toledo, the city, looks into this. I hope that they are looking at this because this is all just happening. It's all happening. I heard on an earlier video that the money is also being raised for her headstone. See, I haven't seen anywhere where they have put that in writing, Tina, or anywhere where it says that on anything. Um, from what they are saying, like when I just read that, I didn't see anything about the headstone. And again, it could be, but I haven't heard that with anything. And just like that Castillo funeral home, they were like, we donated our time for the embalming. We donated everything. Like the only thing that they'd have to do is the casket. And then of course, burial plot, stuff like that. But 12,000, I thought, and again, this funeral home at first was saying that they were donating everything, that this was going to be covered. We even heard the aunt on the news station say that nobody needed to raise money, nobody needed to do GoFundMe's, that it was all being covered. So it just gets worse and worse and worse. Grandma is getting something out of this, in my opinion. I mean, but if you go through these comments, scam, please don't give money. The fact that this family doesn't even vet the backgrounds of the people running the funeral home that is supposed to honor her memory speaks volumes as to how they treated her while she was alive. The baby was by a P word and her body is being prepared by another one. Um, why is there a fee that people are donating to? I thought y'all were offering these services for free, considering the situation. And see, that's the big thing. Even if it did cost $12,000 and they were raising it and stuff, that's not what they put out to the community. It was put out to the community that they were donating these services, considering the situation, and that every part of it would be donated. Yes, he does, Sipsy. He owns the cemetery as well. So he owns the cemetery. That's why the community was thinking that it was when he said that he was donating everything. He owns a cemetery and stuff. So it's not like there would be a need for anybody to have to pay like a third party for a burial plot, nothing. He owns all of that. And I guarantee you that the people in Toledo, if they had to, even other people from other cities would go and dig it themselves if they had to. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but Lakita, I'm sure that they didn't. You say your sister's funeral was 13,000, but Castillo Funeral Home, they did all of the preparing of her body. They did the embalming of her body. They did everything like already. So all of that stuff that would normally cost is already been done for free. Richard Brown was convicted of showing P to minors in 2008. Yes, that's what I'm saying. If you go to this funeral homes, like they just all, I would never use Brown. The owner is a PDF file himself, and the family should be ashamed of themselves for choosing him. And then somebody said, where is the invoice of breakdown of cost, which you're claiming amounts to $12,000? No idea what you're asking for. See, it says, why is it that Andrew verified with the funeral home that was allowing you to use their facilities have no idea why you're asking for $12K or where the money that's being donated? See, here it is. Castillo Funeral Home is preparing her body for the homegoing, which includes embalming free of charge. It was shown that the casket you chose was $430. The casket he chose was $430. This is the funeral home that is donating all the services. See, they haven't even posted anything. But this is the legit, that guy was saying, like, this guy's been in business for years, but the Castillo Funeral Home is the one who's preparing the body, who is embalming her for free. They're doing everything. Yeah, Lita, it's pure greed. And it's sad that even in her death that she's being used for monetary gain. Because sad to say, listening to her, and I did pin that in the description, the other true crime, the first part of this, but listening to her aunt speak, it's clear to me, and it sounded like she was used just for monetary. It was all about child support and money, and don't make a GoFundMe, and don't do this, and don't. And even in her death, people are trying to scam. Can this be addressed if this man, Richard Brown? Oh, it says, is this man, Richard Brown, not a known predator? And yeah, we saw that letter or whatever. You should be ashamed. I mean, if you go through these comments, you crooks need to give all the money donated back to the family. Castillo Funeral Home is covering the cost of everything. And like they said, Castillo Funeral Home, see, look, Richard Brown is a predator. See, I thought your services were donated and free per Castillo Funeral Home and Andrew. This baby cannot be seen and hearing life nor death, and $12,000 is ridiculous. What's it say? Look, this person says, this man is kin to the father's side of the family. Her services is not going to be at his funeral home. He's scamming, trying to get money, and it's sad. The plot was donated by a woman from Sylvania, and the pastor, Breon Hall, paid for the whole service. Her body is still not released. That guy is lying. I just got the real truth from some church members. So basically, they're trying to say that this PDF file is related to the dad's side of the family. Yeah, Barbara, I don't know. But clearly there's something going on, because if all that was needed was a casket, that's not 12,000. A casket alone is not 12 grand regardless. I mean, I'm sure there are caskets that are 12,000, but come on now. That's what they said, FBI. Again, I feel like I said, this case continues to just unfold, and just it gets worse and worse and worse. I mean, continues to get worse. So that's why I said I was going to do it Monday. But today would have been her 14th birthday. And there's just so much coming out in this case, and with the funeral home and all of these things coming out, I just felt like we could go ahead and do a little update, because this is a case that I will definitely be continuing to update on. And it's tragic. It's a tragedy. And then all the things surrounding it make it so much worse. My opinion, the whole family needs to be charged for this baby's death. Not only the family, Lisa, but I'm hoping that that they break down what was, because we know the teacher filed multiple reports. We know that the school staff filed reports, or at least one report. We know that some of her friends she had told their parents, and she talked to the parents, and some of the parents are saying they filed reports as well. So I'm hoping that maybe somewhere somebody will get charged, or something will happen to where these things just don't go unnoticed. Yes, I will definitely keep you guys updated. He volunteers his license for clout. It's so sad. The community would have pulled together and buried that baby. He opened his mouth in hopes of gaining clout and monetary gain. It's sick. Yes, Sips T, because he said, I will volunteer. Castillo Funeral Home said that they would prepare the body and do all of that because of the circumstances. And then he hopped up and said, oh, I'll help too. And I'll volunteer my services, and I'll do this and that, because he owns a cemetery. And like they said, even a woman allegedly from Sylvania is who paid for the plot and all of that. So you don't just if you're not going to do it for free and do your services, just don't say anything, because they all jumped up and said, we're going to do this because of the situation. And now it's like, oh well, let's not do that. Let's do since everybody wants to donate, let's throw a number out there and get $12,000. They're probably splitting it. I would not doubt it. It's probably they're probably I wouldn't even put it past them if he is in fact related. I would not put it past them that they're getting the 12,000 to try to help him fight the case. Like as sad as that is, I would not put it past these people just from what I've seen in the last week. It's very sad. Um Exactly, Crystal. And CPS is always messing with the ones that don't need it. Or they'll take kids out of homes for it seems like um like I've seen a lot of medical things where kids get taken out of homes because parents don't follow what and I'm not saying neglect, I'm saying there's a lot to go that goes on. But I've seen like kids get taken out for medical things when there's no proof and just because they wanted to follow a different course of action and they get taken out of the home, then you have a child like this who has begged everybody in her life to get her out of the situation and they won't do it. It's like, what in the hell is going on? Definitely sounds like a money grab. Mhm. So I will definitely keep you guys updated. I may start doing true crime twice a week at least because there's so many cases. And you guys are messaging me so many and it's impossible to get through all of them in like once a week. And with this case, we're going to be following it and doing updates a lot. So yeah, I may have to do true crime more than once a week for sure. And look at y'all rocking out with me, and I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for the support with the true crime stuff, and definitely one of my passions for sure. And thank you so much. Rudy said thank you for keeping us updated, bringing awareness to all of this. Yes, go Castillo Funeral Home. He actually lists the cost of his services. Yes, and he's donating everything. I know, Lita. It's terribly sad. But yeah, Castillo Funeral Home, he lists down everything and he's giving everything for free. He said he didn't want any kind of money. He's doing all of it for free. I also heard the grandma had threw a toaster at the girl the last time she was at school, and that's why they found knots on her head. Oh yeah, she had multiple bruises and things like that for sure. What did you say? Yeah, the autopsy, we talked about that. What did you say about the autopsy? Oh shoot. Yeah, Sherry, we talked about the autopsy and what the autopsy listed as her cause of death and all of that on Tuesday. It's very sad, so I don't want to repeat it. Um, you should cover Victoria Martin's Albuquerque, New Mexico. Ooh, okay. Did you see the pastor that locked the doors and demanded 40K from everyone? No. Did you guys see where the little boy ran into the grocery store this morning? That was wild. Wouldn't you love just 5 minutes alone with the grandma? So if you guys didn't see, there was a little boy who ran into a grocery store this morning, completely had no clothes on. He was tied, his hands were tied together. He had a rope on his ankle, and he ran a mile from his house. He was autistic, 15-year-old boy. He ran a mile, almost a mile, I think, from his house to the grocery store to go get help. And while the police were at the grocery store with the young boy, the mother came in the grocery store and was looking for her son. And so the police went back to the home with the mother and found that she had another child at the home that was a 12-year-old little girl that was also autistic, but that she did not have bruises or anything like that. This little boy was a 15-year-old. He was autistic. He had been tied up with his hands. He had a rope on his ankle. He had 75 to 100 bruises on him, all in different stages of healing. They said that although the 12-year-old girl was not harmed, that the house was deplorable, that the living conditions were not safe for them. And they said that they took the 12-year-old and the 15-year-old both out of the home. They said that they filed charges because it was the mother, the grandmother, I think the grandfather or the grandmother's boyfriend. I can't remember which one. And did the mom have a boyfriend also? But they charged all of the adults that were in the house with this. And it said that the mother, they charged them all with the case. And they said that the mother was still in jail, but that the grandparents were able to bond out. So yeah, it was in California. It says the victim of suspected child abuse shocked employees and customers when he recently ran into a grocery store in California. The teenage boy had no clothes on, his wrists were tied, bruises covered his body. Officials say the 15-year-old boy was autistic. He ran a block, my bad, not a mile, a block. The autistic boy ran about a block from his home to the Cost Less grocery store for help. I could hear people gasp, like like a sound of shock, said Rebecca, a senior head clerk at Cost Less. And I turned, and when I did, the young gentleman was coming across the front end with no clothes on. The store employees quickly jumped into action, seeing the teen was visibly in danger. The manager of the Cost Less said that the teen's wrists were tied together and there was another rope on his ankle. The kid is in trouble and we need to get him help, he recalled thinking. The manager said the boy also had dozens of bruises on his body. He had 75 to 100, maybe more bruises, several bruises all over his body, she said. The employees covered the naked teen with a coat and called 911. I just kept telling him everything is going to be okay and kept patting him and saying, everything is going to be okay. We're here. We're going to take care of you. They called the police arrived shortly later. While police were at the store, a woman arrived on scene claiming she was looking for her son. Police identified the woman as Leandra Renteria. Officers then went to Renteria's home where they found another child, a 12-year-old with autism. Police said she wasn't hurt. However, the living conditions in the home were deplorable. The living conditions were, feces and urine throughout the home, strong odors, things that are very, strong health hazards that no one should be living in. Neighbors were shocked to hear what happened behind closed doors because on the outside of the home, flags are flown for autism awareness. Police said the 15-year-old boy and the 12-year-old girl were both taken by Child Protective Services. The boy's mother, grandmother, and grandmother's husband were arrested on charges of child abuse and neglect. The mother is still in jail, but the grandparents are no longer in custody. Oh, it's just, it's terrible. But yeah, so that happened in California. Awful. But I will definitely keep you guys updated. Like I said, there are so many stories, so many cases. I am going to look up about the pastor for the 40,000. Thank you so much for letting me know. And I will be back later tonight. We racked in 2 hours. Look at that. Yeah, it's very sickening. And I'm so glad that he ran for help because he not only ran for help for himself, but he ran for help for his sister too. I know, I wish I could save them all too, FBI. It's terrible. But yeah, so I will definitely be back later. Thank you for joining me for this impromptu true crime update today. I'm just didn't want to make you guys wait until Monday. And again, happy heavenly birthday to Keimani. And we will continue to say your name and continue to spread your story until justice is served. Thank you guys so much. And I will see you back later tonight for the malarkey. Thank you guys so much for joining and have a great rest of your day and start of the weekend because it is Friday. Oh my gosh, Miss Fee, that's terrible. Sadly that happens a lot too. It is, Jill. And I will see you guys later. All for the malarkey. You guys have a great night. I'll see you later. Bye.